Hi guys, German Film Fest is on the doorstep and now part 2. We already talked about the German currents, or a few of them in the short time, but this time we have DEFA, East German Cinema, and as you guys know me already, and within the last 3 years we had a few DEFA movies already. Why is that? 70 years DEFA.
70 years DEFA. We should mention that Studio Babelsberg, which is the current name of the studios in Potsdam, is the oldest serving, longest continuous running film studio in the world. And it was established in 1912, and that's when UFA came in to make all the silent films. And then at near the war, a lot of the propaganda films that Goebbels wanted were made in the 40s there. Then, after the war, it became DEFA, and the East German-Russian sort of alliance. And so, yes, 70th anniversary, and we're celebrating that with 4, I think, excellent films, including the first film that was made in Germany straight after World War II, The Murderers Are Among Us, with Hildegard Knef. And what is so interesting about this film is it was a way of expiating the horrors and guilt of what happened during the war, but also had a plot line that wanted the audience to move on as well and not to wallow in the horror.
It's from 1946, only 1 year after the war actually finished.
Absolutely, it was incredible. Shot in the rubble of Berlin, and it's quite an amazing film, and with a great script, I must say. So that's one of the highlights of the DEFA films. Then there's a 1964 film called The Divided Heart, Divided Heart, Geteilte Himmel, which is a film by Konrad Wolf. And of course he has a film school named after him now. But what is so interesting about this film is it's about some East German workers in a factory sort of environment. It's a love story, a romance, but it also says a few things about the West and how the West might not be such a bad place to be. Because things are not so comfortable in East Germany, certainly not in 1964, economically speaking perhaps. So how that film got through the censorship of the various East German authorities, I'm not quite sure, but I'm glad to say did, and we're able to see it
yes,
here.
The Divided Heaven, and it's Konrad Wolf, actually the filmmaker of our last movie we screened, Solo Sunny, and you can see there's the connection. What else do we show?
Of course, the classic, The Legend of Paul and Paula.
Die Legende von Paul und Paula.
What a classic 1972 love story, which is somewhat subversive as well in terms of dealing with sex and adultery and open relationships and so on, which again in 1972 East Germany, not quite the done thing. And again, it's a film that sort of flirted with censorship, but was again able to be screened.
And actually Erich Honecker rescued this movie because they had a kind of test show and screening, and all these party secretaries, they were all really upset about it, but Honecker was impressed by the few seats for normal people.
Yep.
And then he actually saved this movie, which is also a bit funny, right?
It is funny. Irony upon irony.
And it's Angela Merkel's favorite movie as well.
Angela Merkel
Yes.
loves the film.
Yes.
Wow, The Legend of
Here we
Angela
go.
Merkel coming up soon. All right. And the final film we're screening is the film Coming Out, which was the first and only film that dealt with homosexual themes in East German cinema. And again, it's such an interesting film because it was so daring for its time. It was shot fairly carefully in various places. Some organisations and some of the museums and so on forbade them from filming. So in fact, when I spoke to Matthias Freihof about making the film here and the interviews on the Goethe website, he was quite revealing about what went in behind the making of the film, the censorship issues, the relationship between the director and the actors, and just the way the film was then shown, and it was premiered on the day the wall fell.
Yes.
Which is incredible, 1989. Yeah. And I suppose just a few other things. We've got a documentary on Fassbinder, talking of retrospectives, which is a fascinating new documentary about his life and times and his work. And particularly, he is allowed to speak about what he feels about what he was doing in his films and what he was making. So that's a really good film to see, and we're screening one of his films, Ali, Fear Meets the Soul, from 1974.
Angst essen Seele auf.
Danke.
And the funny part is
Yes.
actually Dr. Motte, the organizer of the Berlin Love Parade, who was our guest, when I say our, the Goethe Institute, on the exhibition last year, he actually proposed this movie to be shown because we had a bit of chat about our Kino project. And he said that should be a great movie, and it's just funny. Yes, Dr. Motte, the board listened to you, and we are showing it now. So
Certainly, yeah.
it's great to show such
It is.
retro West German movies as well.
Absolutely, and of course the strength of Fassbinder as a filmmaker. And just to round off what else we're screening, the documentary Germany in a Day is really Sönke Wortmann's film is a delightful collection of short videos that people sent in for one particular day around Germany, which he has pieced together. I think he got 5,000 submissions. That's what he told me at Munich, and he put this together, and so we get a fantastic snapshot of what Germany is like on one particular day, all across north and south of Germany. And of course, the closing night film, not to be missed, and one that's not as well known, is E.A. Dupont's fantastic film Varieté, or Vaudeville is an English sort of international translation, made in 1925 with Emil Jannings and Leah Deputy. And it is an amazing film set in a circus about a romantic triangle that goes wrong. And it's a very expressionistic film, not as much as Murnau and Lang, but also quite an expressionistic film. It's been fully restored. When it was released in America, half an hour was cut out of it. That half an hour has been restored. We are screening the complete print that played at the Berlinale last year. So if you want to see an excellent, not so well-known silent film, but highly regarded one, have a look at Varieté as the closing night film.
A silent film, a Stummfilm, yeah?
Ein Stummfilm.
Ein Stummfilm.
But there is
at the
music
last.
on the soundtrack.
There's music, so, and also there's a great final party as well, like in the beginning. We are closing our film fest usually with a nice party as well, and
Opening and closing always has a good party, and during the festival there's lots of panels and discussions, including a Swiss evening as well, where you can have a soiree and have cheese and chocolates and all sorts of fun things.
yes, you can see there are a lot of movies in 2 weeks. Do you know how many actually?
It's 37 all up, including the retrospectives.
37 movies, so I don't think we can make all of them, but again, everything is here in this little booklet and online on Goethe Institute Australia, and we say thank you to you,
Thank you, Marko.
and go for it.
See you at the
See
movies.
you there.